Hey guys, welcome back to the Pausing Porn podcast. I'm Mark, and this is day 5 of the 7-day micro series. Each day I'm sharing short, practical information to support your recovery. Let's begin. Have you guys ever noticed that the porn you were watching a year ago, the stuff that once felt intense and exciting, now barely holds your interest anymore? Or, for a more drastic example, think back to when you first discovered porn. What used to completely captivate you back in the day probably wouldn't even keep your attention for one video now. That shift that you're noticing, this is an example of how porn tastes change over time. In this episode, I'm going to break down exactly why that happens. The first piece is tolerance. Porn, like any other addictive behavior, activates your brain's dopamine system, the same reward circuit behind gambling or drug use. At first, the dopamine hit is strong, but over time, the brain adapts to it. The same video doesn't feel as exciting anymore. To get the same rush, your brain pushes you towards something more intense, just as a gambler. Gamblers increase their bets. Porn users often escalate to new or more extreme content. Second, there's the novelty effect, also known as the Coolidge effect. In nature, males show renewed sexual interest when they encounter a new partner, even if they've lost interest in their current one. Porn hijacks that system by offering endless novelty. There's new performers, new categories, new scenarios every single day. And this novelty is unlimited. Your brain keeps chasing that sense of new, which drives you to explore material you never imagined watching or even knew existed. Third, we have conditioning. The brain starts linking sexual arousal with whatever it's repeatedly exposed to. Over time, porn can condition you to respond to specific genres, even if they don't actually match with what you want in real life. That's why people sometimes end up watching content that shocks them or feels completely outside their sexual identity or moral compass. The brain isn't chasing authenticity, it's chasing a greater hit of dopamine. And this leads to the last point. Escalation doesn't equal identity, guys. Watching something extreme or misaligned with your values doesn't mean that's who you are or what you truly want. It just means your reward system has been trained to keep upping the ante. The good news is, recovery allows the brain to reset. Many people find that after time away from porn, their sexual tastes return closer to their real life baseline, aligned with their actual values and desires. And their porn-induced fetishes? They leave over time as well. I can definitely attest to the escalation effect of porn use through my recovery. I mean, I started watching porn when I was 10. It started with there was a porn game ad that I clicked on. And from that point, I replaced all the games I was playing on the computer with this porn game. Did I play this game, though, for over a decade? No. The day I was introduced to softcore porn, I never went back to porn games. And the day I was introduced to hardcore porn, I never went back to softcore. This is the consistent trend that followed through my entire journey with porn. From the very first day being introduced to the porn ad to the very last day, my use was always escalating to new genres, new content, and I was always seeking novelty. If you've noticed your porn use escalating, or you've watched things that left you feeling ashamed or confused, I want you to know you're not broken, and it doesn't define you either. It's just how the brain adapts under constant stimulation. I also want to remind you, do not let this become a shame trap. Shame will not change your porn taste. Recovery will. Thank you for listening to the Pausing Porn podcast. If this episode hit home, consider sharing it with a friend, dropping a follow, and leaving a review. And remember, your recovery isn't about perfection. It's about being 1% better each day. I'll see you guys in the next one.